Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Pothole in the street, fork in the road. Shit I seen with my eyes just forcing me to grow. Like my grandpa cooking crack on a spoon. I'm from where if you don't sell it, then you use. Dropped out of school, I had to play the streets. Granny said they shooting up the street, she don't know it's me. Life cheap, I made a fortune off a home invasion. Trey ate across his face, and you know I ain't playing. I ain't leaving empty-handed. I remember coming home late nights with empty cannons. Now I make these devils cry when we hold camp. The only place you'll get respect is to that old man. Straight up. Look, I took the narrow path. I'm certified in this shit, but my apparel black. We don't walk the same walk, I'm aware of that. You never seen a nigga serve the Lord, what you staring at?
If you wanna take this walk, it's a long road. You gotta bear that cross, it's a long road. And put away that sin, it's a long road. Enduring to the end, it's a long road. If you wanna take this walk, it's a long road. You gotta bear that cross, it's a long road. And put away that sin, it's a long road. Enduring to the end. As I creep in the camera, I let the song blast. Reminiscing of the time I walked the wrong path. Hitting licks, did whatever just to get the bread. Dropped out of school cause I chose to sell crack instead. Yeah, I was head first with a red shirt. Let them see the flag, smoking all day. You could say I was breathing gas. Used to kick those, no COVID, I ain't need a mask. Almost getting caught by the laws, heart beating fast. I thought I was destined to live this life forever. Got in class and my life changed for the better. I remember the days I used to wear a cross. Now I'm one west, so I got a better cross. I'd be dead or in jail if it wasn't for the truth. That's a miracle, no need for further proof. Endurance the goal as I grow old, but I got a ways to go, cause it's a long road. If you wanna take this walk, it's a long road. You gotta bear that cross, it's a long road. And put away that sin, it's a long road. Enduring to the end, it's a long road. If you wanna take this walk, it's a long road. You gotta bear that cross, it's a long road. And put away that sin, it's a long road. Enduring to the end, it's a long road.
All right, clap it up, y'all. Clap it up. Most High in Christ. We want to welcome everybody to the I.S.U.P.K Houston Tuesday Brotherhood / Sisterhood class. You understand? When we break down the scriptures and show the brotherhood and sisterhood that's in the scripture that our forefathers showed, you know what I'm saying, to one another. The I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. You know what I'm saying? Now today we are led by the amazing Commanding General YAHANNA, who is literally responsible for all of us being here. Most High in Christ for that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Today's topic is these other nations know who we are. You know, I know we see a lot of brothers waking up, the great awakening, waking up to who we are, our nationality, who we are according to the Bible and history. But they know who we are. These people in power, these other nations who's in power, they know exactly who you are. They call you a nigger, but they know you are Judah. They call you a whipback, but they know you are Issachar. You understand? And they know the power of calling you by those names, the power that it takes away who you are. They already took our culture away from us, and to keep us under those names further drives us into the dust. You understand? Anytime you are conquered by people, they can change your name. This is war. You know what I'm saying? When war happens, people get conquered. And because people get conquered, the winner has the ability to change the names of those people in that land. You understand? That's the same thing that's happened to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Whether it was the northern and the southern tribe, it all happened to us. We were all conquered. You understand? So your pastor might be ignorant of who you are, but they know. You understand? First, we're going to start off with Judith chapter 5, verse 17 in the Apocrypha. This is a heavy, heavy scripture. This chapter starts off with a Chinese man breaking down to the leader of his army of who the children of Israel are. This Chinese man goes through our entire history. You understand? He goes through our entire history and breaks it down and shows his leader who we are. You understand? And it goes to show they know everything about us. They know about our strengths and they know about our weaknesses. And right now they rule over us because of our weaknesses. Go ahead, Doc.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 17, and the Apocrypha. And while they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them.
Come on.
Verse 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
What the brother breaking down, he's basically breaking down the blessings and curses of Deuteronomy 28. When we followed the Most High, we prospered. You understand? We ruled the land. But when we followed sin, we was carried away into captivity. You understand? Our captivity today in America is because we follow sin instead of the law, instead of our power. Go ahead.
And the temple of their God was cast to the ground.
Come on.
And their cities were taken by the enemies. Verse 19. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered.
Right. Now he's explaining the solution of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's breaking down what it takes for us to overcome our enemies. Go ahead.
And have possessed Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate.
Right. It says they have returned to their God. Keep reading.
Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Come on.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
He told his governor, he says, if these people are sinning, let us consider that we can take them down. Let us consider we can win against them in battle. Everyone knows Israel's secret. They know our strength and our weakness. They know if we are sinning, they can overcome us. Go ahead.
Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But if what?
But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But if there be no sin in their nation, come on.
Let my Lord now pass.
Let what?
Let my Lord now pass by.
Go ahead.
Lest their Lord defend them,
Mm-hmm.
and their God be before them.
He said, if there is no sin in these people, my Lord, let's not even deal with them. We won't even take this L. Let's pass them by. Come on.
And we become a reproach before all the world.
If we don't pass these people, we become a reproach for the world. The whole world will laugh at us. You understand? The whole world, the earth knows the strength and the weakness of Israel. The strength is that we follow these laws and commandments. We are the greatest thing walking. The weakness is if we don't follow the law is going to put the other nation above us, and they're going to keep their boot on our necks, which is the situation we're here in America. You understand? We're the greatest people on the earth, but yet the people who are beneath us rule over us. Give me 2 Ezra 6 and 54.
This is the book of Ezra, 2 Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54 in the Apocrypha. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Of him what?
Of him come we all.
Everyone comes from Adam. Go ahead.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So the people, the heathens and the Israelites, the God's chosen people, we all come from Adam. Go ahead.
Verse 55. And all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
For whose sakes?
For our sakes.
The Lord made the world for the sake of the Israelites. Come on.
56. As for the other people.
As for who?
As for the other people.
Come on.
Which also come of Adam.
So the Lord made the world for Israel, and as for the other people that come out of Adam, go ahead.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They're what?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
We should be equal?
Nothing.
The Lord God loves everybody?
Nothing.
The Lord said these other nations are as nothing. And it's crazy how this is in the Bible, but your Christian pastor doesn't teach you this.
Right.
You go to church every week to learn how to love white people. You don't go to learn the Bible. You go learn to hear the choir sing songs, the musician play, the head deacon shout, or somebody praise dance, some homosexual praise dancing. That's what you go to church for. You don't go to church to learn the Bible. You go to church to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
But be like unto spittle.
But like what?
Be like unto spittle.
These other nations are like unto spittle. What spit? What spittle, Salakia?
Like the little droplets that just flew out my mouth when I was talking.
Yeah, right. That's spittle. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing to the Lord. Come on.
And has likened the abundance of them. Salakia. And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
You know, you ever have a big bucket of water when you're walking, and some water just tips out a little bit? Do you go back and cry over that water?
Wow.
That's how the Lord feel about the other nations. He don't give a damn about them. He just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? That's how he feel about the other nations. But yet we're taught through the doctrine of Christianity that God loves everybody and that we should serve these people that God loves. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing.
As what?
Has ever been reputed as nothing.
The Lord has always seen them as nothing. Come on.
Have begun to be lords over us.
Begun to be what?
Lords over us.
They have begun to be lords over us. Our enemies has overtaken us. Why? Because we failed to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Half of the law is about serving the Lord, and the other half is about brotherhood. And we fail both of them. We don't serve the Lord properly, and we hate each other.
Right.
You understand? Anything else on that? That's it.
And to devour us.
And to devour us. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They devour us. They take all our money. They in our neighborhoods. They own our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? They devour us. But going back to Judah, it was to show that these other nations know who we are. That's why on every commercial you see, it's an AIDS commercial. Like, you ever just sit and watch TV? It's an interracial commercial. There's a commercial about pork chops. And it's an AIDS commercial. These AIDS commercials just coming back to back. Golly, you know what I'm saying? And who's on the forefront? Black people. They push sin on us to keep their position of power. Think about it. If we stop sinning, we will rule the earth, right? They don't want that to happen. So all these other nations came together. Matter of fact, get that to me. Give me Psalms 83. It's a team play, man. These other nations are on the same team. Because why? They keep their positions when we're on the bottom. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83.
Start at verse 3.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have what?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
You know what the crafty counsel was? How can we get these blacks and Hispanics to fall away from their God? How can we get them to drop their law, you know what I'm saying, and follow our culture? How? Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
The hidden ones are the Israelites. Come on.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They said what?
They said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Like, they said, come and let us. All these nations are in on this. All of them. You know what I'm saying? Just when you think that's a good white man, nah, his forefather to set you up. Just because Asian people can make good cartoons, nah, their forefather set us up. You know what I'm saying? They are all on the same team. Keep going.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
They all came together to take away your heritage, your name, to uproot you from being God's chosen people. And the only way they can do that was to attack our weakness. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They what?
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They're on the same team. All of them. You ever seen after 9/11, man, white folks hated those Arabs, huh? But a couple years after that, they started hating us again. Like black people thought Arabs gonna be hated forever. No, that was just for a short time. Now they back to hating blacks and Hispanics again. Because why? They on the same team. They know they can't beef. They can't beef. They have to keep their posture, you know what I'm saying, dealing with each other, because why? That's how they keep their seat. Keep going on that.
Colonel Wakan, they are confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom.
So now the Bible starts naming these nations that's against us. We're going to read just a few of them. Start from the top.
Colonel Wakan, the tabernacles of Edom.
The who?
Edom.
Who is Edom?
Our oppressor, sir.
All of them are oppressor, but he's
right.
he's the number one, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If I could you grab that book for me? Esau, the one I said. Read the title and jump. I think it's page 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Who is Esau, Edom? Esau is the firstborn of Isaac, and thus was heir to the birthright, deprived from the racial lineage of Adam to Noah to Abraham. Thus Esau was racially an Adamite,
right,
a Semite, and a Hebrew, the racial stock of the white race.
The what?
Racial stock of the white race.
The racial stock of the white race. Our number one oppressor, the Edomites. He is the forefather of all white people, whether you're a Canadian white man, Italian white man, a French white man, American white man, a European white man, a Yugoslavian white man, a Russian white man. You all come from Esau. Keep going out. The water, sis.
And the Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, the ones that sell pork chop plates in the corner store. I.S.U.P.K, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Of Moab.
The Chinese. Go ahead.
And the Hagarenes.
Hagarenes, so-called Africans, man. Go ahead.
Gabal.
Come on.
And Ammon.
And Ammon. Gabal and Ammon. Africans and the Japanese. Those just are a few of the names of the nations that rule over us. You understand? And they came together to do it as a team. Because why? They need this power they have. Otherwise, we'd be ruling over them. And nobody wants to be ruled by nobody. They want some power to themselves. You know what I'm saying? But when we're in charge, we're in charge. All right? So what I want to do is I want to read some books to prove that these other nations know who we are. Give me we'll start with Babylon and Timbuktu.
From Babylon, Timbuktu. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under the General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 DC, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period of Pompey to Julius, it had been established that over 1 million Jews fled from Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of Black Jewish slaves.
The slave markets what?
Were full of Black Jewish slaves.
Full of what?
Black Jewish slaves.
The slave market was full of Black Jewish slaves. When the Romans came and destroyed Jerusalem, the Black people fled into Africa. This is how the majority of us got into Africa. You understand? We got to Africa, then we migrated through Africa, all the way to the West Coast. All right. Give me page 90.
And the Black Jewish had an advantage over the African tribes.
They what?
Had an advantage over the African
He
tribes.
said the Black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. Why is that? Go ahead.
They carried their culture.
They what?
They carried their culture,
Come on.
history,
Mm-hmm.
laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of higher social organization.
Right. When we follow our culture, when we follow our laws, we put ourselves above everybody, no matter who you are. When we follow what the Lord has given us, the Lord puts us above everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's the contract we made with him. We follow laws, we would be above all nations. Go ahead. Keep going.
Because of the stability of the Black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrial and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jurors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, slatters,
Good night.
blacksmith, architects, etc.
No sweat. Get the Lord a hand. You know what I'm saying? Our culture kept us on top. Now think about that. Now think that when we were in Africa on the West Coast, the other tribe was doodle eaters. Well, yeah, we had our culture with us. You know what I'm saying? And that put us above everybody, man, because everybody don't follow the Lord. Everybody wasn't meant to follow the Lord, because the laws were not given to them, only to the nation of Israel. And that's what makes us special. And that's what makes us chosen. All right. Ron, give me Jeremiah 17:4. And sis, give me Origins of the American Indians, page 88.
Come. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Read that again.
Verse Jeremiah 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Serve who?
Serve thine enemies
Mm-hmm.
in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Right. So while we had all that among the Africans, we decided to follow their culture, and the Lord had to punish us. The Lord had to take away who we are, take away our heritage, our culture from us. You understand? And now we serve our enemies. When we was in Africa, we lived on top. We were the kings and queens. We were the kings and the princesses, Salakia. We were ruling the ruling class, the ruling class. You know what I'm saying? But now, these other nations have their boot on our backs. You know what I'm saying? And when we come back, matter of fact, give me Romans 13 and 11 out. Coming back to our culture, this is the only, let me see, how can I say it? This is the only doctrine that puts us first. You know what I'm saying? Read that for me out.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out Salakia, to awake out of sleep.
Mhm.
For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Right. Coming to this truth, this is the only, I'm gonna say, doctrine that puts us first. Christianity, we are second-class citizens under the white man. Islam, we're second-class citizens under the Arab. Buddha, we're second-class Indians under Goku. This is the only place that put blacks and Hispanics first, knowing this truth. You understand? And we have to, like, it's cool that everyone is saying that, the Jews are black, you know what I'm saying, and all that, but they're missing one thing. You can say the Jews are black, but you have to live like a Jew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye, the white folks so upset with Kanye because he was saying the Jews are black. It would have been hard for them to attack him if he was living like a Jew. Right. You know what I'm saying? They found a loophole to attack him and crumple his whole empire down. But had he been living like in his culture, in his laws, the Lord would have had his back. You know what I'm saying? You ready? So this is another book to show that these people know who you are. They know you are God's chosen people. Go ahead.
Origins of the American Indians, European Concepts, 1492 to 1729.
That's roughly 300 years, right? The white man did a book, and it took him 300 years to gain this knowledge. And what did he gain in his 300 years? Go ahead.
Nonetheless, he remained convinced that the most reasonable theory seems to be that they were descended from the 10 tribes.
Jump down way to the bottom.
The Mexicans are originally of the 10 tribes captured by Salamanzar and of the family of Issachar.
So the so-called white man wrote a book, took him 300 years to gather information, and he put out that the Mexicans are the so-called Issacharites. They know who you are. You understand? Keep reading. That's it.
Whom the Indians recognize as their special ancestor.
Who the Indians recognize as their special ancestors. I mean, we're family. You know what I'm saying? All the more reason why you shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving. You celebrate the slaughtering of your brothers and your sisters. Hispanic brothers, black people. You know what I'm saying? They know we are family. But because we second-class citizens under their Christian doctrine, we've been taught that we're not brothers and sisters, that we're all God's children. We're, you know what I'm saying? We're God's children with the people who hate us. But according to what their historians are saying, that the Mexicans are God's chosen people. This is proven. There are history books that have been, the prices have soared through the roof because black people start buying them. They have to do that because they have to keep that knowledge hidden. Because if you find out who you are, you're going to get off that stripper pole. You're going to stop selling dope. You're going to stop being a prostitute. You're going to stop getting high. You're going to stop playing with these sisters and throwing them away. You'll become royalty. You become special. You understand? And you becoming special is a bad thing for their pockets. It's a bad thing for their crowns. Because you gain their crown and it takes it from them. Anything else on that? No sweat. Let's go to Lost Tribes and Promised Land. This is a classic. This is one of the first books I heard about when I first came to the school. And when I heard that, I was like, damn.
Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. The woman got off and spoke with Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montesinos could not understand, although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation. She then turned to her male companion and explained the situation.
What page? Excuse me, what page number it is?
This is page 364.
364. Go ahead.
Upon hearing her words that rose, went over to Montesinos, and to his utter astonishment, said, Shema Israel Adonai. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Right. That's the official creed. Come on.
He had presided in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism. They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben and that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby.
So these native Indians told them they were the tribe of who?
Reuben.
Reuben, the tribe of Reuben, off the Tazadak, tribe of Reuben. Go ahead.
Francisco told Montesinos all he knew about these people from his own traditions. His ancestors, to their internal shame, had indeed made war on them and persecuted them. Only the sorceries of his tribe were perceived that they were a special people, and had given warning that they should be left alone. The Lord, the God of these children of Israel, is the true God. They had said, and everything inscribed on their tablets is true. At the end of days, they will be lords of all the nations of earth.
They were what?
They will be lords of all the nations of the earth.
That's right. When Christ returns, Israel will be lords of all the nations on the earth. Give me Isaiah 14:1. Keep going.
One nation come bringing many things to this land, and after we have all been provided, these children of Israel will go forth from where they now are and reign over the whole earth as they once did.
That's what they're trying to avoid. You understand? They have to keep you asleep from them ruling the world, from you ruling the world. They try to keep you asleep. And the more asleep you are, the longer they rule. But they know when Christ returns, you're going to have the authority on earth. Get it to me, out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
On everybody?
On Jacob.
White people.
On Jacob.
Come on.
And will yet choose Israel.
Choose Christians?
Israel.
Come on.
And set them in their own land.
The Lord's going to set us back in our own land that was taken away from us in Deuteronomy 28. Come on.
And the stranger shall be joined with them.
Come on.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They're going to cleave to you. They're going to realize, you know what? I thought she was just a nigger, but she actually a child of God. Come on.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
What does the word possess mean?
To own.
To own. So take out possess and put the word own there for me.
And the house of Israel shall own them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
For what?
For servants and handmaids.
Come on.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's what they don't want to happen. That's what the oppressor does not want to happen. He can't live in your shoes. You know, like we've been, for 500 years, we've been surviving. The white man can't live like that. The second he gets to where you are, he gonna go in his room and take his shotgun and blow his brains out. Because he don't have that type of strength that you have. Think about it. The world follows everything you do, and you're on the bottom of the totem pole. They watch everything. You invent everything, but yet you're on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Video games, the lights, cars, you know, the what's they call it, the patent building, what it's called?
U.S. Patent Office.
The white man is the devil.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he invented. He invented the patent office so he can take credit for the things that your people have done. You're the greatest people. We're the greatest people, but yet we're at the bottom. Think about if we follow our culture, what would happen if we actually did what the Lord said?
Right.
We would do so much. You know what I'm saying? So they know who you are. They have to hide their culture from you to keep their power. And that's what, I don't blame them. That's what you're supposed to do as a nation. You know what I'm saying? Because when I get my power, I'm going to make sure you don't never get in power again. Right. And that's what you should do as a nation. Come on.
That's like, I got a precept for that, you know what I'm saying, that ties in to what you're saying. This is 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, right, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Good night.
So they put it in their laws, you know what I'm saying, to keep us from, passing on our culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what we know by now, they consider us lawbreakers.
Right.
So they made it a law and a pact and a decree for anybody that is found practicing their original culture as an Israelite, they will be put to death.
They put to death.
They will be, tortured first in front of the rest of the nation, so that they won't, follow suit and then killed.
Right. Get it, brother hand. You know what I'm saying? And today they do the same thing, but do it in a different method of it. Today you are socially castrated. You are canceled just for saying that the black people are the Jews, which is true. Which if you go in any history, you will find out that the Jews are black people, are niggas. You know what I'm saying? You will find out that God is black, Moses is black, the prophets is black, Israel, everybody in this book is black. You understand? And we do a little more research, you find out those people in the scriptures are your forefathers, or your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And what you should do is, you should be a part of this great awakening and come back to your culture. All right?
So like if I may, that's why they coming down so hard on Kanye, Kyrie, so hard because, they are public figures to, our nation. You know what I'm saying? So if Kanye or Kyrie come out, everybody like Kyrie, he was almost like, okay, well, we can't follow Jordan no more because he's not playing no more. So Kyrie is probably, and LeBron is the next best thing. But, LeBron ain't finna. No. So it takes bold ones like that to do it. But so now they have to come down hard on them to keep anybody else from coming ahead, because it's a lot of celebrities and rich people that know, you know what I'm saying? Ice-Cube is one of them, but they don't want to, they go, Jewish black.
They in
the background, black,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But they won't come out and really, you know what I'm saying, make this statement because, they first of all, they love their money.
Right.
And they don't want to suffer, the humiliation or the punishment that's going to come with it.
Right. Good at brother hand. Well said. You know what I'm saying? Such a good point. And also, a brother in our school now, he joined because he heard Kyrie say the Jews are black. Right. So he started doing the research and he called the school. So I'll be there Tuesday to learn about who I am. No sweat. Come on in here. You know what I'm saying? But since 1969, we've been working to have someone like a Kanye or a Kyrie say the Jews are black. We've been putting work. We go on the street corner every week since 1969, just so brothers can be like, well, the Jews are black. They had to hear from somewhere. Who do you think they heard it from? Their Christian pastor? Stop it. He ain't gonna tell the truth because his power rests with the other nations being on top. When Christ returns, we ain't have no Christianity around. So your pastor ain't gonna be useful. Molesting your kids, having sex with your woman, that's not gonna fly in the kingdom. So your pastor gonna basically be useless. But good point though, Ron. You know what I'm saying? Like these figureheads, people with this influence, they're waking up. And guess what these people are running to? They're coming into the school looking for answers. You understand? Because they need to know who they are. These heathens know who they are, but we don't know who they are. So they come here to learn who they are. And we've been preparing for this since 1969. You know what I'm saying? Commander YAHANNA teaches us to battle anybody about this truth. You know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be all type of people who come to these schools trying to learn, trying to shed themselves of the world, trying to shed themselves of Christianity, Islam, witchcraft. We're gonna have to battle those demons. And we're gonna win. You understand? Because this is the home of the truth. No sweat. So let's go to the Yucatan, book called the Yucatan.
Yucatan before and after the conquest. Some old men of Yucatan say that they have heard from their ancestors that this country was peopled by a certain race who came from the east, whom God delivered by opening for them 12 roads through the sea. If this is true, all of the inhabitants of the Indies must be the Jewish descent, because the Straits of Magellan having been passed, they must have spread over more than 2,000 leagues of territory now governed by Spain.
Right. So the Yucatan, them brothers will say that their forefathers told them that they came from the east. Give me 2 Esdras 13 and 40. That they came from the east. And this goes directly, it is parallel to what's told in the Apocrypha. You know what I'm saying? The Apocrypha with the 14 books taken out of the Bible by the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? Because why? These stories links us together. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan, this is the Apocrypha. 2 Esdras chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of I.S.U.P.K, the king.
Right.
Whom Shalamanzar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so became they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Verse 42, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. Mm-hmm. Verse 44, for the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Right.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
So it took a year and a half for the 10 tribes to get to the Americas. Keep going.
Khan, and the same region is called Azareth.
It's called what?
Azareth.
If you look in the Jewish encyclopedia, Azareth is what they called America. Azareth is America. So the 10 tribes traveled a year and a half to get to Azareth, which is America. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all over the earth. Our history and who we are, it's all over the earth. It's not taught here because to keep this kingdom afloat, you got to have slaves. You don't have kings and princesses and, you know what I'm saying, slaving. You keep a slave a slave. So you don't tell them about this history. You hide it from them. You understand? But the Lord, through the I.S.U.P.K, is bringing out this truth. And the great awakening is happening. We got brothers and sisters waking up all over the place. And everything happens because the Lord wants it to happen. You know, going back to the Kanye and the Kyrie. Those brothers did that to push the truth out. You know what I'm saying? So when people come looking for the truth, they're calling us. And we are readily available. Is it on that? Okay, so let's go to Judah right quick. We did the 10 tribes, we did Babylon Temple, did a little bit of Judah, but Let's go to the black image. Read the entire book for me. Title page.
The Black Image in the White Mind, the debate on Afro-American character and destiny, 1817 to 1914.
All right, so they did a year study on us. What page is that? What page you read from?
75, page 75.
Come on.
In Crania
Egyptica.
published in 1844.
This book was published in 1844. So in 1844, they knew something special about Negroes. Go ahead.
Morton pointed out that both cranial and archaeological evidence.
So cranial means the shape of our heads, and archaeological means, our pottery, plates and cups and all that. Keep going.
Showed that the Egyptians were not Negroes.
That what?
The Egyptians were not Negroes.
That the Egyptians were not Negroes. They made a distinction between the two people. All skinfolk and kinfolk. Come on.
As abolitionists
I
can't say the word.
I got wrong for those type of words.
Abolitionists and colonizationists had maintained, and that in fact blacks had been regulated to the same servile position in ancient Egyptian as in modern America.
Read that last sentence again. The African Americans.
As abolitionists and colonizationists had maintained, and in fact blacks had been regulated to the same servile position in ancient Egypt as in modern America.
Who was enslaved in ancient Egypt? Anybody? Who's enslaved in ancient Egypt?
The Israelites.
Get that brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? Good job. So it says that blacks were regulated to the same servile position as in ancient Egypt, also as in modern America. Who's in slavery in modern America? Go ahead, tell the microphone so the earth can hear you.
Israelites.
The Israelites, give us a hand, you know what I'm saying? They knew who you were in 1844. They knew that so-called Negroes were the Israelites. You understand? They know who you are, but really, do you care? Do you care to know who you are? Give me Isaiah 1 and 3. Give me a hand in that zone right quick before Ron reads. Let the young man read it for me, Ron.
The youngest son of Noah.
Read the title of the book.
The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Come on.
The youngest son of Noah.
Read the word.
Ham.
There we go. Ham.
The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
The word progenitor means the father, so he became the father of the dark races.
But not the Negroes.
The who, what?
But not the Negroes.
But not the Negroes. Go ahead.
But the Egyptians.
Africans.
Ethiopians.
Africans.
Libyans.
Africans.
And Canaanites.
Africans. Those are the true Egyptians according to the Bible and history. You so-called Negroes are not African. To call yourselves African American is redundant. You calling your name by 2 countries, and both countries hate you. I sent you a picture of a book. Before we read this book, I want to big up Officer Tazadak, who is doing excellent work online right now for the class. Give that brother a hand, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know Tazadak, he's the brother who friends of you blowing in the wind. Go ahead, sis.
History of the American Indians.
Mm-hmm. Who's the author?
James Adair.
James Adair is a very special, I won't say special, he's a very well-known historian. He actually lived among the Native Americans. He followed their culture. He learned of their culture. And what he says holds a lot of weight in the historical realm. But go ahead.
From the most exact observations I could make in a long time, I traded among the American Indians. I was forced to believe and literally descended from the Israelites.
He was forced to believe that they were what?
Descendants from the Israelites.
That we descended from the Israelites. You understand? These are books that on our school's website, because since 1969, we've been doing the research. We've been doing the studying. We've done the hard work. All you got to come in here and follow the law and orders, and that's it. We've done the work already. Now it's your turn to pick up your brick, to put your brick in. Give me Isaiah 1 and 3. The earth knows who we are, but do we know? Do we even care? A lot of us don't care. Because why? Because Christianity plays such a heavy role in our mentality, in the way we think, in the way we live. Like Christians actually hate the Bible. They hate the history. They hate the truth. You ready?
Con.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 1 and 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
The what?
The ox knoweth his owner.
The ox knoweth his owner. Go ahead.
And the ass his master's crib.
And the ass his master's crib. The Bible just named two of the dumbest animals on the earth. But the ox knows who his owner is. The ox knows who gives him power, who feeds him, who takes care of him. And the ass knows where he come from. You can drop a donkey off on 45 and he'll make his way back to the school because he knows where he comes from. The ox knows who takes care of him, and the ass know how to get back home. Come on.
But Israel do not know.
But what?
But Israel do not know.
Come on.
My people do not consider.
But Israel, we don't know who's our power. We don't know where we come from. We don't even consider that we're the greatest people on the earth. We don't consider that the earth, right, follows everything we do. We don't consider that we're the salt of the earth. You know, salt gives flavor to everything, right? That's us. That's you. You understand? But we rather follow the cultures of the heathens that's over us instead of what's been given to us by the Most High. You understand? So, how do we fix the situation? Now that we have the Great Awakening, what's next? Give me Zephaniah 21. What's next after the Great Awakening? If that's all the books we got, get that sister hand reading, you know what I'm saying? It's hard reading. It's hard. Trust me, brothers at camp, when we first started camp, it's a scary thing to read, but then, you know, you keep doing it, you build it up. Go ahead, you got it?
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together.
Do what?
Gather yourselves together.
Now that we have this Great Awakening, the next step is to gather ourselves together. Come on.
Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather together, O nation not desired. You're not desired by nobody else but your God. Your God is the only thing that actually loves and wants you. But we fall and run behind these other nations, seeking their love, seeking their validation. When the Lord already gave us dominion over the earth, all we got to do is follow his culture. You know what I'm saying? And that starts off with brotherhood. Give me Mark 12 and 31. Rom, you give me John 13 and 34. So, Nike, you got Mark 12 and 31.
Mark chapter 12, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these.
Right. We have compassion on every nation. Like when little white kids go missing, man, you see black people timelines filled with them. You know what I'm saying? When the country's going to war, like we are changing our profile pics to love Russia or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Love Ukraine. But anytime something happens to one of our brothers and our sisters, that nigga shouldn't have been doing that. That nigga should have been doing this. Like we gotta start having compassion for one another. And that's what we lack. Compassion should be our main motive for going forth. Having compassion for your brother. Anything else on that? No sweat. Come on, Ron. John 13 and 34.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you.
Right.
That ye also love one another.
Right. We got to love one another. And these scriptures are so important because now that the great awakening has happened, and now we got to gather ourselves together, the Lord didn't say go into 20 different Israelite groups. He said gather yourselves together. We should be under one banner. We should be one body, one baptism, one faith. But yet, because of Christianity, there's 20 different Israelite groups out here. You know what I'm saying? We got to have more brotherhood than that. Our brotherhood has to outweigh our need for power. Our need to have, you know what I'm saying, women screaming our names and all that. You know what I'm saying? Women lusting after us because of the power we have. Your brotherhood should be strong enough to where you won't forsake your nation for nothing. I can't be in this group if it means destroying my nation. We got to gather ourselves back together, man, as one body. Last one, give me John 15 and 12.
This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Like this verse has been said all throughout the Bible, throughout the New Testament. The love that Christ had for us, we have to have the same love for each other. And that's how you build a nation. You build a nation on loving your brother. The Jewish man couldn't take over the earth without brotherhood. The white man couldn't take over America without brotherhood. There's a Chinatown in every major city because of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Arabs, I can't even tell you where Arabs live at because they brotherhood. Right. Keep niggas like me out. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you that. But because of their brotherhood, they have a section for their people. See, good on the mic.
Like it's very rare. Like you don't even see homeless Arabs.
You don't. You know what I'm saying? I also saw on the internet the other day, a person wrote he never saw an Asian man pumping gas. Because you know why? In their neighborhood, they have gas stations. Right. They put their dollars back into their community. So you won't see that. You know what I'm saying? Brotherhood is the foundation for building a nation. Brotherhood is our foundation. It's our strength. Brotherhood is our strength. Like not keeping the laws is our weakness, but brotherhood is our strength. And we got to get back to that strength because these other nations know who we are. We got to get back to our power, follow our God and our culture. All right? And with that, Amajim. I want to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Barak. Barak. How about Shema Shah Brakatah? Yasmatah. Sar, his turn. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Amaj, Barak, Yahweh Shema Ta'ala Shema Shah. Yahweh Yasmatah. Dismissed. Man, big shout out to Tazadot. That brother's an excellent brother.